I was digging through my closet one day and discovered my old PS2 lying there. The cords and everything were already plugged in. I took it to my shelf and plugged it in. It worked fine. I thought I'd lost the PS2, so I sold all of my games for it, including Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. Knowing it worked, I went straight to eBay and searched for San Andreas. I found one new for only $4.99 with free shipping. Thinking it was too good to be true, I bought it anyway. About 3 days later, it came in the mail in a weird-looking box. I opened up the box, and all that was lying there was a disc. No game case or label, just a disc with GTA SA in black marker ink. Odd, I thought to myself. I shrugged and put the game in my PS2. Right from the start, I knew something was wrong. The menu screen was blood red, and all it said was San in white text, no pictures or anything. The game began to load the cutscene where CJ is at the airport. All normal there, until the game showed Ganton. When the ball is shot through the house window, the game cut to CJ's mum, who was getting shot at. All of her organs fell out and she was screaming in pain, until the final shot blew her head off completely. That never happens. When Sweet ran to the house, he didn't say anything. He didn't scream mama like he usually does. When he discovered her dead body, the screen went black and a blood-curdling female scream was heard. When CJ received the phone call, instead of Sweet informing him of their mother's death, loud breathing and distorted crying was heard. I wanted to shut off the game, but I was interested. The game started me off at Mount Chiliad in the shack instead of the alleyway with the BMX. I ran through the shack trying to get out, but everything was sealed. The screen then went black and showed a picture of CJ's dead mum for a split second, then it spawned me in the alley with the BMX. Something wasn't right though. The sky was blood red, there were no pedestrians or traffic, eerie piano music was being played in reverse, graffiti was on the walls saying families for life, body bags were lying on the sidewalk, screams could be heard, and CJ's face was all distorted and he had glowing eyes. I was fucking scared as shit at this point. I ran around town looking for somebody. Nothing. Just an empty town. I began to hear an engine from a vehicle. It was getting louder each second. I turned around and there was nothing. The sound grew louder and louder until CJ fell to the ground dead, as if he got run over. The screen then went black and the word help appeared in bloody red letters. When CJ respawned, everything was black. Sidewalks, walls, buildings, everything. All I could see was CJ and the outlines of everything. The music was getting louder and the voices of the pedestrians could be heard. The screen began flashing, CJ became pixelated and more engine sounds were coming through. This was straight from a horror film. The screen went black and a flashing image of CJ's mum's ghost appeared, with CJ screaming. The game then cut to CJ at the Panopticon. This is when I began feeling unsettled. It was storming, the sky was red, and the clock had frozen at 666. That isn't even a time. There was a rusty wheelchair on the grass, and I could hear faint chainsaw sounds in the background. At this point, I was confused and terrified. Every time I tried to leave, CJ would die. I couldn't go anywhere. Frustrated, I turned off the game and went to sleep. I had a strange dream about that wheelchair. It started to wheel its way over to me, very slowly. I could see a faint figure on the chair, as if it were a victim of the mysterious chainsaw sounds. The person was in a bloody hospital gown, had long hair, only 3 teeth, and no legs. When the wheelchair bumped into me, I heard a very loud scream, everything went black, and the help text appeared in the same exact form as it did when CJ died. I thought, this could be telling me something that I need to find out in the game. So I turned on the PS2 and began playing. I wish I hadn't. The game cut to CJ in a dark, haunted asylum, just sitting there, unable to move. He began crying about the loss of his mother. The crying was distorted and didn't even sound like CJ. The picture of his mum's body flashed on the screen for 3 seconds, then disappeared. CJ then got up and he was playable. I started to walk through the asylum. Every door was shut, except one. Stupid as I am, I went through it. I wish I didn't do that. The game cut to a disturbing cutscene of CJ's mum's body getting devoured by the faint figure I saw in my dream. I screamed and tried to turn the TV off. It wouldn't turn off. The figure looked at CJ and started to roll in the wheelchair towards him. The screen went black, CJ began to scream, and gruesome sound effects were heard. Bloody red text appeared, saying, "I told you to help." Then the credits screen appeared. Before I took the game out, I noticed something on the credits screen that shocked the hell out of me. In tiny text, it said, "I had fun playing with you." I jumped. I took the game out and smashed it with a hammer. I hope I never have to experience something like that ever again.